Welcome to Mature Matters. I am Debbie Clark. I'll be your host for today's show. Just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. We have a very special guest. Her name is Teresa Bryant. She is a nutrition services coordinator here at the Center for Active Adults in Farmington Hills. Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I understand that you oversee a few of the programs here at the center, one being the volunteer program, the other being the Meals on Wheels, and also you oversee the lunches that are provided Monday through Friday in Conway Hall.
That is correct. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And just a little side note, I loved the salad bar when I was here.
That. Yes. Glad to hear that.
Yes. What we were wondering is if you could tell us a little bit first about the volunteer program that you oversee.
Okay. The volunteer program is very widespread as far as the opportunities, because we have volunteers who work within the Meals on Wheels program, which I'll explain, and we also have volunteers throughout the Conway Hall and throughout the Costick Center in the Adults 50 and Better program. And so some of those, we have the home chore program, where people can volunteer to go into seniors' homes and do minor repairs. We're not asking anything major, but even as simple as changing light bulbs.
Absolutely.
When you get to be a certain age, you don't want to be climbing ladders or step stools. And so we have people who go out and do that. Help with snow shoveling, just some of the minor things around, attaching the handheld things to the walls, those types of things. We have the Sojourn Bears, which is a program that makes bears for cancer patients and cancer survivors that offer comfort. And they will make them in specific things, like a U of M bear, or if someone was a tennis player, it will hold a little tennis racket or be a gardener.
Nice.
And they're always looking for people to come and help with that. We have the SAGE program, which is Senior Adults Giving to Education. And for that program, you need to be 50 and better, and you actually go into the elementary schools and you help with tutoring, and you don't have to have an education background. And that program works through the school year, and they've had several volunteers who have been doing it for 10, 15 years and have stayed with the same classroom.
Wow.
And then we're always looking for volunteers for our special events. For some of our special bingos, some of our dances, we always need assistance in setting up registration, any of those type of events. So that's just some of the volunteer opportunities just through the 50 and better side of things.
Wow, that's unbelievable. There's a lot. How many people would you say your base volunteers are? Do you have certain people that come through?
We do. In the Meals on Wheels program alone, I have 110 drivers and over 25 packers. So that's just what I oversee within that program. When we do our volunteer breakfast, we send out almost 300 to 350 invitations to volunteers.
Wow.
So throughout the services that we offer.
So the people that do volunteer, I know you said 50 or better for those specific programs, but what would be the minimum age that somebody could come and volunteer and help you out?
You have to be 18 and older. And in order to volunteer, there's a background check the city requires. So everyone has to fill that out. And once that comes through the Human Resources Department here, then they're available to volunteer. But they do have to be 18 and older.
Nice. Can you let us know a little bit more in detail about the Meals on Wheels program?
I'd be happy to, because we're always looking for volunteers. So our packing program involves packing the meals and sealing the meals and then packing for the drivers. And they come like at 9:15 in the morning. And they're here through packing that for the drivers, and then they stay and they help serve the food for our Adult Day program, and then they also serve the food in Conway Hall where we have lunch every day. Wow. So it's a longer time commitment.
Sure.
And we usually have 5 people every day who come in and do the packing and the serving. And then drivers, we have 16 routes that we do, so we need 16 drivers every single day. And they come about 10:15 in the morning, and they are out the door by 11 o'clock, because we tell our participants that they will receive their meals between 11 and 1. And so they, again, everyone goes through the background check. Drivers have to have their own car. We provide everything else, but they do have to have their own car to deliver the meals.
Oh, that's awesome. Is it one meal a day?
It is a hot meal, which is the main meal, and then we do offer what we call a brown bag lunch and a breakfast. And so they could have 3 meals a day, Monday through Friday. And then on Fridays, we also offer frozen meals so that they would have a meal to prepare for themselves on Saturday and Sunday that only needs to be heated
so
in the
nice.
microwave or the oven. So they could receive all of those meals or just the hot lunch.
Would the driver deliver all of that at the same time?
Yes, everything comes at the same time.
Oh, that's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
What type of experience do you have to have if you wanted to be a driver?
You have to have no experience at all. We just like a friendly face and be willing to give the time commitment. And part of the program is you're checking on your participants just to make sure they're safe. So we want someone who has a friendly demeanor and is willing to spend a little extra time chatting. You might be the only person that they see in the course of the day. And we just kind of want to make sure they're okay. During their recent heat wave, we made sure our drivers could feel cold air coming out of the homes, air moving from a fan, making sure that they were okay. And if they were not, to call us back, and we would make sure someone went out and checked on them and made sure that they were okay. And we do the
That's
same thing during the
wonderful.
winter time too.
What about a mom with a small child?
We allow them to come. What we say is that you do need to be aware that there can be dogs at homes, which we say on the sheet that the drivers receive, but our clients love to see the little ones.
Oh,
and we
I
have
bet.
several who bring their grandkids and who bring their college students when they're home on vacation. And our participants don't talk to our drivers. They want to hear all about what the kids are doing, which
Yes,
is
that's
very
so
nice.
nice.
It
Absolutely.
is very nice.
What are I know you said, is it Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday.
And the times you said again?
For the Packers, they are here between 9:15 to 12:30, and lunch, they are provided lunch too. Any of our volunteers receive the meal when they're here. And the drivers come between 10:15 and 10:30, and their delivery is between 11 and 1. I always tell our drivers allow at least an hour to an hour and a half when they're delivering, because you never know with road construction, or if somebody does want to chat, it might take a little longer.
Sure. Give me a little picture of what type of meal you might serve, a hot meal.
A hot meal, for instance, today it was hush puppy fish. So it was a nice fish fillet with brown and wild rice, and then a mixed vegetable, and then they got a fresh slice of cantaloupe for dessert.
Oh.
So a variety. We had Marie salad 2 weeks ago. They did all of the typical toppings for Marie salad, the ham, the turkey, the pickles, everything. Went out and had the dressing and everything with it, and had a nice roll that was included with it. So a variety of things, anywhere from cheese omelet to southwestern chili. We had kielbasa the other day with sauerkraut. So a variety of things.
Yes, and in
Yeah.
the brown bag lunch, is it mainly a sandwich, a piece of fruit? What would that be?
Again, that varies. We try, everyone has to receive a milk, a bread, and a fruit. That goes with every meal that we send out, whether it's the hot lunch, the brown bag, or the breakfast. And they always have to have a protein. So a lot of times we'll send a chicken breast that they can make a sandwich out of. Or even if we've had chili or something, we will package chili up and send that home for the brown bag lunches. Breakfast will have a bagel, hard-boiled egg, yogurt, a variety of things. So they do try to, Christine Johnston, our kitchen manager and head cook, she really tries to make a variety, because we don't like to eat the same things.
Sure.
So we don't like to send the same things out. We really want to make it a variety and something that you'd want to look at, oh, that looks good, because you eat with your eyes and you want to see it and know that that's good to have.
Yes. If we wanted to volunteer, how would we start the process?
First off would be just to call me, and my number is 248-473-1825. And they can call me and I can direct them into whichever program that they're interested in volunteering. The form for all the programs is the same. So if they fill out the form, they can check on the back, which says what they want to volunteer for. That goes to the right department. And it is available on the website, on the Farmington Hills website. If they go to fhgov.com and adults 50 and better, under senior services, the form is there for the volunteer form, that they can do it online.
Okay, very good. What would a person get out of volunteering? What have you heard from some of your volunteers? What motivates them to do this?
Just knowing that they're doing for someone else. They're going outside of themselves. They're reaching out and making the community better. You know, any connections that we can make between you, me, our neighbor, the person down the street, that's another person you know. And for the older adults, it gets them out.
Sure.
And for a lot of them who are retired, they're like, you know, I miss that sitting at lunch or at the water cooler or the coffee pot. And this gives the opportunity for them to, one, they're doing good, but it also helps them too, because they're not sitting at home, they're doing something. We have some of our drivers, and I always tease them because each group of drivers is different each day of the week, and how they interact with each other. We have a group who comes at 8:45. They don't have to be there till 10:15.
Oh,
they
wow.
come at 8:45 and they sit and they chat. And if Bob isn't there, hey, do you know what happened to Bob? Oh yeah, I heard this and this and this. Oh, okay. You know, and they check up on each other. Some of the guys get together and they play golf outside of doing this. So they really have made connections. So you've got that social interaction too, that you may be missing if you did just retire from work or something, that you had a different type of social life. Or, you know, we have several who are recently widowed. And this again gets them out. Several of them, their spouse came with them when they delivered. So the people who they work with know that. And so they know, and they have those conversations. And so it is a very fulfilling, is what a lot of them have said, and they get very involved with their clients. They will attend, you know, their funerals. They know when a grandchild is graduating. They do get very, very involved, and they get very upset at us because we have to change the routes. We have, you know, if we get new people on a route, we try to keep the routes manageable. So there's 12 to 14 people on a route. But our drivers are very particular about their routes.
Sure.
And they've
We're
made
creatures of habit.
Yes, and they've made their connections. And so when we have to move someone, well, I've had her on my route for the last 5 years. Why'd you have to move her over here? Then we have to explain, you know, this person didn't fit into this route. So,
Right.
And that's nice for me to see that they do feel that protective.
Yes.
And they are very aware, and they call in, you know, and we'll say, hey, we noticed that so-and-so wasn't coming to the door as prepared as she usually does. We're just a little concerned. So they take that on themselves too, to really look out, and that makes you feel good too, knowing you're really helping somebody. So.
Absolutely. What happens if one of your drivers call in sick or are unable to make it?
We have two sets of drivers. We have our permanent drivers, and what that means is that you have the same route. So you may have Route 12 on Mondays. So you will always do that route. And then we have sub-drivers who have said, hey, I'm available anytime, or I'm available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if a driver, and as we tell them, they are volunteers. They have a life, we expect that, so we just ask that they let us know as soon as they can, so we can get a sub in. So we try and keep a pretty good sub list to be able to fill in when our permanent drivers can't be around.
Do they need to be Farmington Hills or Farmington residents to volunteer?
No, and actually we have quite a few of our drivers who are not Farmington Hills residents and drive here from other places. So, and we have had a couple in the last 2 months who have moved and still are coming back. One moved to Bryant and is still coming in to do, to do the route. We have a lady from Ann Arbor that has been coming for years and keeps coming in. So no, you do not have to be a resident.
That's wonderful. What about the Conway Hall? Do you have to be a Farmington or Farmington Hills resident to come in?
You do not. And all that we require is that there is a sign-in sheet, because all of this is funded through a federal grant program, which is administered by the Area Agency on Aging. So we need to keep track of numbers. So when you come in for lunch, you need to sign in saying that you're having a lunch with us.
Yes.
And if you're over 60, it's $2.75. If you're under 60, it's
So
$5.
good.
So quite a good deal.
Yes, it is.
To be able to have a lunch for that price.
Yes,
But no,
and-
you can just come in and sign in.
That's wonderful. My mom just moved to Novi, and I
Okay,
said, Mom, she wants to get involved. I said, Mom, you have to go to the Center for Aging in Farmington Hills. There's so much going on there.
yeah.
And she's the type that can't sit still.
Uh-huh.
And I told her about your salad bar. And
There
I
you
said,
go.
you've
There you
got
go.
to go, but let me
Well,
check out. So
yeah.
thank you for answering that
There,
question,
yep,
because I
same.
will be on the
Yes,
phone to let
yeah,
her know.
Yeah, yeah, and tell her to bring a friend.
Yes.
Come up, bring a friend.
Yes, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had told her everything that goes on. There's so much under this building that is just phenomenal
There
for,
is.
you know, the older population.
Yeah.
I've teased my husband that we are moving to Farmington and Farmington Hills
There you
when
go.
we become this
There you
age,
go.
because we're in Livonia right now. But is
Yeah.
there anything else that you'd like to share with us that would be
just
enlightening?
mainly, you know, if you feel like you want to volunteer, even just to come up and come sit in at lunchtime and see what is going on. And that's a lot of times all it takes, or participate in one of our events. And you'll see how people are enjoying themselves and kind of think, oh, maybe I can help with that. And again, only need an hour sometimes.
Sure.
We have a variety of times that people can do in all the different volunteer opportunities. So yeah, just get out the door, come up, and we have transportation also. So if they don't drive anymore, but they would like to come up and help, our transportation system will bring them up and take them home.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. So yes. just
Wonderful
have them come.
services.
Yes,
That's what I
have them
say.
come.
Wonderful services. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and let us know about the services
You're
that
very
you
welcome.
coordinate. And at this time, we'd like to thank you again for joining us. And if you think that you want to volunteer, please get in touch with Teresa, and she can plug you into wherever you think you might want to go. And we hope you're enjoying this beautiful day, a little cool, but nice sunshine. At this time, I'd like to thank you, and we'll see you next time.